They're big, they're intimidating, and they can get quite pricey. LEGO Technic sets are some of the most complex LEGO sets you could ever own, and I'm going to be counting down the top 10 largest LEGO Technic sets out there as of May 2020. If you love working with automobiles or model cars or just like having a big time commitment and having an articulate project in front of you, well then LEGO Technic is the perfect thing for you. So maybe something you see on this top 10 list will pique your interest and you'll have to go out and get it for yourself. Luckily, most of the things on here are still available for you to get right now. And to kick off the list, we have set number 42110, the Land Rover Defender. This bad boy comes in at $200 and has 2,573 pieces. It's this beautiful olive green color and looks exactly like a Land Rover Defender. And if my memory serves me correctly, there were images of this set online before this actual vehicle was announced to the public. So that's like the first time I think that's ever happened. But obviously it's released right now. You can get it in your stores, and it's a beautiful model. All sorts of articulation with the shocks and the steering. And with a lot of these Technic sets, they don't necessarily have power functions availability in them as they're typically built. But this is one of those models that you could deck out for yourself, put some power functions in there, get a remote out, and really control that bad boy. Take it wherever you want to. I wouldn't bring it out to a swamp, though. It might get stuck. It's not quite like a Land Rover Defender, so just be careful when you're bringing it outside. So next up on our list is set number 42078, Mack Anthem. 2,595 pieces and retails for $180 US, has a price to part ratio of 5.4 cents per piece. So not only do you get the truck itself, but you get something to take with it as well. And if you happen to be looking at the front of the box and you're like, I don't really want to bother with that, you can turn this into a garbage truck, and the instructions are available officially from LEGO on their website. So not only are you getting the model that's on the front of the box, you're kind of getting two. It even has a little bit of the interior and is a great set if you wanted to even just use it for parts. As we get further into the list, there's a lot of variety in color, but this one is a good base if you want to take this apart and just make whatever you want with it. The gray, silver, the black all work really well for custom builds, so you have no shortage of inspiration if you end up picking up the Mack Anthem just for parts. For the next one on our list, we're going back to 2013 with set number 42009, the Mobile Crane Mark II. So this retailed for $220 in the US and has 2,606 pieces, so that's 5.8 cents per piece. It's a massive crane, and if there's anything that could work in LEGO Technic, it's gonna be construction vehicles, as you can see here. And this is the first one of the Technic sets on the list that have power functions built in here. So you can actually raise and lower the crane to whatever height you desire with the power of the medium motor and the battery box. So it has that bit of interactivity to it, which is a great starting point if you want to implement something like that into your own builds as well. Because like I said before, a lot of the sets on the list, you could modify them to have power functions, but it's not necessarily in the instructions or, specifically detailed out for you. In this set, it totally is. If you wanted to take this apart and transform it into the secondary model, you could do that as well. The yellow that's provided in this set really allows for a lot of opportunities with really any construction vehicle. So this is, again, another great start if you want to just take everything apart and use it to make maybe a steamroller, which I don't know if that's ever been done, but now that I say that, it looks probably pretty cool. Do you like sports cars? Because I like sports cars. Can you afford a sports car? Well, probably not. Neither can I. The best you can get is set number 42056, the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Coming out in 2016, this incredibly beautiful model was the start of a reoccurring trend with LEGO, where they seemingly come out with one of these incredibly detailed, beautiful looking sports cars every other year or so. So this one came out in 2016, and another one is appearing later on the list, don't you worry. This one has 2,704 pieces and retails for $300, which that might intimidate you, and you looking at that price to part ratio, it's not as good as other sets on this list, but just looking at what this model is, that would change your mind if you saw it in real life. It's a beautiful model that you can appreciate whether you love cars or not. It's got a beautiful orange color. This thing could be zooming down your driveway or down your street, and it's gonna turn heads, trust me. Everything from the way the box is designed all the way to the instructions makes this a premium experience, so keep that in mind if you're having your eyes on the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. And I guess the exact opposite of a beautiful sports car would be a pneumatic sprung electric motor vehicle. All right, Google Translate says it's Arocs. So the Mercedes-Benz Arocs 3245, coming out in 2015 and retailing for $230 and has 2,793 pieces. The shining aspect to this set is the pneumatic system included in here. So this opens up a wide variety of opportunities with LEGO Technic. I've seen this crane work in action, and it's so smooth with its actions. It's not just motors working with that, it's the air power of the pneumatics. And really, the pictures and video really speak for itself. It's something that I feel like you would need to see in person to see just how smooth everything operates, and seeing the way that this thing is built in person, it doesn't compare to anything you're going to see through a television or computer screen. So if you happen to get a chance to go down to a LEGO store eventually and see what this looks like, I really suggest you do. Because even just looking at the bed of that truck gives me a little bit of a headache just looking at it. But if you're watching this video right now, it's probably going to make your heart palpitate with happiness. Or it's going to make your heart palpitate because you're eating too much Five Guys and you should probably lay off. Next up on the list of the largest Technic sets ever made is set number 42083, the Bugatti Chiron. I know what you're saying, Brian, you said that wrong. I know it's Chiron. It's the Bugatti Chiron, okay? I went to Google Translate and I knew that even beforehand. It has 3,599 pieces and retails for $350. And again, this is one of those premium experiences just like with the Porsche. So this came out in 2018 and I personally love blue so much. So when I saw this come across LEGO store shelves, I was very excited to see what this was like in person, and it is just as beautiful as you might think it is. And I know for a fact this one was built in the exact same way that they build them in the Bugatti factory. So you start the same exact way as you would in the factory with the actual car. And you and I probably cannot afford the Bugatti in real life, so this is the next best thing. The engine is completely faithful. You have a gear shift, the wheel turns and moves the front wheels there. It really is magnificent. And it seems like there's some way for you to modify it to make it be a remote control thing. I don't quite know, but I feel like if you're savvy enough, you could absolutely pull it off. I mean, just even look at the box. It has this premium feel to it, which is totally the vibe that they were going for when making this set. Like, it looks gorgeous. And this model was so impressive as it is that LEGO went to the extent of building a 1-to-1 scale LEGO Bugatti in real life. That was at the LEGO house, and Beyond the Brick had a chance to go and view that for themselves. And yes, it is just as beautiful as you might think. Now, which one would you rather have, the LEGO Bugatti or the actual Bugatti? I don't know which one would be more valuable. Maybe the LEGO one, because it's one of a kind, right? Probably. And if you're a fan of colorful Technic sets, then this one is a piece de resistance. It's set number 42115, the Lamborghini Sián FKP 37. Goes for $380 in the US and has 3,696 pieces. Talk about an absolutely beautiful luxury vehicle inside of a luxury box. The presentation here is the best of any Technic set I have seen so far. It just feels like you're unboxing royalty. It is 5 inches tall, 23 inches long, and 9 inches wide, so you're going to be building this bad boy for quite a long time. It also has a V12 engine with moving pistons, steering, and front and rear suspension, so you get all of the enhanced features as what typically is with all of these Technic racing cars. Well, they're not racing cars, but you know anyone who had this car in real life absolutely was racing it down the highway against all the other super expensive motor cars. To have a Lamborghini in this scale and in Technic form makes for an incredibly gorgeous model that I'm sure you can't wait to get your hands on. We're moving on to the next colossal Technic set on the list. It's set number 42055, the Bucket Wheel Excavator. It came out in 2016 with 3,929 pieces, retailed for $280, and at the time, it was the largest Technic set to ever be out. And this set is so massive that it actually included a smaller LEGO set inside of it. And it's such a unique vehicle for LEGO to go with. I never would have thought they would do a bucket wheel excavator of any construction vehicle. You know, I would assume there'd be another massive crane or some sort of bucket thing that wasn't this, but it's a massive device. And it almost seems like it's in minifigure scale, the way that it has the cockpit there for you to control everything, and there's so many moving parts in here. This is another one of those power functions kits there, so you have the extra large motor and the battery box to help make this whole thing move. And not just make the wheel move and the belt on the inside move, but the whole thing itself can move as well. There's a lot going on in here, so again, if you're thinking about getting this, make sure you focus, because I wouldn't want to mess this up either. So that was number 3, and now we go on to number 2. It's set number 42082, the Rough Terrain Crane. Came out in 2018, has 4,057 pieces, retailing for $300 in the US. And this didn't seem as big as I thought it was when it first came out, but when you look at the scale of it, it is absolutely massive. It's 22.9 inches tall, and that's just with the crane as it is right there. It can extend even further, and it's pretty heavy at 13 pounds. So that's a lot of plastic you got right there. This is another one of those sets that has power function capabilities with the battery box and the large motor. It doesn't need an extra large motor, which is kind of surprising. And you can also transform this into a secondary model. And that even has a 360-degree spin, and all of the functions in terms of power functions with this set involve lifting that crane to be incredibly high. I'm not quite sure how much it could actually lift, but considering that it is 4,000 pieces and it's pretty heavy as it is, it could probably lift something, you know, a couple pounds maybe. It couldn't lift you or I, but it could probably hold its own. It's a beautiful cherry red color and would make an incredibly articulate addition to your collection. And if you are the ultimate Technic fan and you want the biggest and the baddest and the most bad to the bone LEGO set that you can get, that will take you probably the most time and maybe make you pull your hair out, then you're going to get number 1 on our list. It's set number 420100, the Liebherr R 9800. 4,108 pieces, came out in 2019. Holy mackerel, I feel like 100 of the pieces included in this set is just from the dirt down there alone. The definition of Goliath is a very large, powerful, or influential person or thing, and I think that this LEGO set exemplifies that definition precisely. This is the only one of the LEGO sets on the list that has app controls, so you can use whatever power functions are included in this thing via the Bluetooth on your cell phone, which goes far above and beyond what you can typically do with power functions. You know, you could put together an entire list of commands and have the Liebherr crane execute on those commands, and it moves super smoothly. All of these Technic sets do a great job of making sure the movements are fluid. This is another set I actually had the opportunity to build part of, and it is very, very big. I feel like the bucket wheel excavator is bigger in terms of how much space it takes up, but in terms of how many pieces, of course, this is number one. And the beauty of this is something you just got to see in person, like a lot of the sets on this list. With how many Technic pins and rods and plates that are on this thing, it will keep you busy for a very, very long time. But maybe you're not a fan of the Technic sets that are just gray, white, and black. Maybe you like some color. Maybe you like sports cars. I don't know. You tell me what you like in the comment section down below, and which construction vehicle, sports car, or otherwise would you like to see LEGO conquer in Technic form. I know there's a lot of fans out there for the typical brick building system, but LEGO Technic is something special in its own right, and the fan base for Technic is incredible. My name has been Brian Saviano, Bricks O'Brien, and you've been watching Beyond the Brick. If you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe, like, hit the bell, all that sort of fun stuff. But if you don't, that's fine too. Just make sure you have a great day, sleep well, and remember to brush your teeth, all right? I'll see you again next time for the next video. Have a great one. Bye.